What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing something VR related. This isn't a review, this is going to be something a bit different. This is going to be my top 10 upcoming biggest VR games. So there's a lot of stuff out there, there's a lot of indie stuff, but this is like the biggest titles. This is the AAA stuff. This is like the ones that's going to make the biggest splash to the mass consumer, I'm going to say. So this is in, I guess, some kind of order of excitement, but it's not like a complete one-to-one of how excited I am for these. But yeah, there's 10 of them, so let's start at the top with number 10. That is Numata VR. This is published by Perp Games and developed by Deadbolt Interactive. So Perp Games has quite the good history of publishing VR horror titles. I mean, I love horror games, and they seem to be one that are kind of promoted all these different awesome horror games in VR. So this is going to be no different for me. I'm excited for this one. I don't really know too much about the story of this one. I know it's coming to flat gaming before it comes to VR, so people will have a good example of what it's going to be like before we get the VR version. Hopefully it transfers well. It's got the vibes of a game like either Resident Evil 7 or Condemned. From the footage I've seen, you're like having to kill enemies with pipes and all kinds of melee weapons, and I do like the vibe of it. It looks like a very high fidelity game, and it looks like it's going to be really atmospheric and creepy, and that's what I want. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. That makes number 10 on the list. Now number 9 is a bit of a cheat because this is a different port version of a game that came out earlier in the year, one that I really enjoyed, and that is Max Mustard. This is coming out on the Steam platform and the PSVR 2 platform pretty soon. Actually, I don't know the exact date, but I know it's going to be very soon. And yeah, I played the Quest version and absolutely loved it. It was my first sort of introduction to platforming games in VR. Before that, I didn't really know how it would pan out, but once I got my head into that and playing Max Mustard on the Quest, I had such a blast with it, and I can only see they're doing really great improvements here with the PSVR 2 version. So I cannot wait to see what they do with that. Like I said, it is a game that has already been released, but this is going to be a new version of it that I can't wait to play. Arcane Age is number 8 on the list, and that is developed by Virtuous VR, or that's how you pronounce it. And this is probably the one I actually know the least about. I've seen some gameplay, I've seen some of the things that they posted out on Twitter, and to me it looks kind of like Turok, but if you were the dinosaur. It seems to be playing as a reptilian creature or an alien, and it seems to have a lot of cool physics-based combat where you can sort of impale people with swords and fly around, and it seems to be a lot of cool things in it. What interested me the most is the amount of effort they've gone into to kind of make this version as good as possible on the PlayStation VR 2 platform. They've gone into do like foveated rendering and all kinds of stuff to increase the resolution and haptics and all those things. So that just stands out to me as a game that's got a lot of love behind it, and hopefully it hits the mark. And that is due to be releasing in Q3 of this year, and I think they're actually trying to push the submission through to Sony soon, so hopefully we're going to be seeing that one very soon also. Number 7 on the list is, I believe, a game that is sort of not first party, but is a Sony game. They're promoting this one heavy on the PlayStation VR 2, and that is Wanderer Fragments of Fate. This was originally a PSVR 1 game. I'm not sure if it came out on Steam as well, but it seems to be a really fun game. It looks like it deals with a lot of time travel and going to different time periods and places, and it looks just like a bunch of fun, and just I want to see how this works with the different mechanics of time travel. It looks like they've done a really good job of upscaling this one. They love to sort of promote the Quest version, the PSVR 2 version, how they've improved the visuals and just the texture work, and it's more of a remake than a remaster, I would say, because I do think they have added some gameplay mechanics to it. I haven't seen too much. I know they did a big 8-minute preview of it recently, but I haven't watched it. I'm just waiting for the game to come out, and I can't wait to see what the hype is about, because a lot of people who played this originally say it's one of the best games on PSVR 1. Number 6 is one that was recently released, and it came out of nowhere really, and that is Hitman 3 VR Reloaded. Now, I always wanted to play the VR version of the Hitman Assassination trilogy. I still haven't got around to it. I would like to try it at some point, but I always know that was kind of this discourse about it just not being very VR. It was very tacked onto it. It didn't feel like it was built from the ground up, and obviously it wasn't because it was a flat game originally. But what they've done is they've taken Hitman 3 here, and they've given it a whole new art style, which is going to help the performance of the game. It's going straight to the Quest 3. I don't believe it's coming to any other platforms as of yet, but they've kind of restructured the whole visual style of the game, and they're building it from the ground up with VR in mind. So I think this is going to be a really, really fun game to play. I just think the idea of being Agent 47 in a very sort of VR game where it's all built up from the ground to work in VR, I think has so many possibilities, and I really can't wait to see what they do with it. Hopefully they sort of port the other 2 games in the trilogy over with this one, and one day I really hope that they do sort of fix up the Hitman Assassination Flat Games VR version and make it as good as possible, because those games look stunning, and I really want to see that version in VR come to fruition. Number 5 is one of the most anticipated games in VR for a lot of people, and that is Skydance's Behemoth. Now, I've seen the gameplay of this one. I remember seeing the original trailer, and I thought there's no way that trailer is going to translate into what the game actually looks like, but the game does look damn good. This is the guys who brought us The Walking Dead Saints and Sinner, which is one of the best examples of a VR title, especially for a game that is an IP already. They really knocked out of the park with the immersion in that one, and just the whole combat and like chopping up zombies. They really did a good job with that, making you feel like you had the impact when you're trying to pull a screwdriver out of the zombie's head. So it seems like they're really stepping that up in this one as well. We're fighting giant titan-sized creatures in this one and fighting all kinds of different monsters, and it just seems like there's a lot gone into the combat to make this one as fun as possible. Lots of gore, chopping up people, beheadings. Sounds sick, but that's the kind of thing I love doing in VR. I think there was a release window that was given at some point, saying around October time, so hopefully we're going to get this one around that time, or even earlier if better, if it is fully finished. This game's coming out on all platforms, so PC VR, Quest and the PSVR 2, and I'm hoping to be able to check out at least the PSVR 2 and the PC version, because I really want to see what they can push with that tech. So number 4 is Zombie Army VR. This is being made by XR Games, I believe, who I believe are also making the Hitman game, so they've got a lot on their plate at the minute. And yeah, I've had a few of these Zombie Army games over the years, and sadly I've never actually played them. They're in my Steam library, just sat there. But when I saw the announcement for this one, like, it really sort of rejuvenated my interest in the series, because I think from the trailer it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I think being a sniper in VR would be awesome either way, but doing it just like blowing up zombies is going to be really, really fun. And from what I've seen from the trailer, it's got story mode, it's probably got co-op, and it just seems like it's going to be a blast, and I can't wait to jump in there and just, you know, have a good time destroying zombies and getting those sweet headshots and all kinds of stuff. So hopefully that one is going to be great. I think that's also coming out on all platforms too. Now number 3 is a Quest exclusive, and that is Batman Arkham Shadow. Now I absolutely love the Arkham games. I haven't played Suicide Squad, and I'm in no rush to, but the original like 4 Batman games, including Arkham Origins, which I love, they really changed the way that superhero games could be played, and the way that they were sort of taken seriously, and that there can be a movie adaptation or a comic adaptation turned into a video game and be really good. So with this being in the Arkham universe, I'm really looking forward to seeing where this takes place time-wise, and the villains and the main villains, and just how they do the world and stuff, because it looks like they've really put a lot of care into making this feel like an Arkham game, especially in the combat. I feel like you've got to kind of counter people as they're attacking you, from one of the interviews I saw. So I'm just really looking forward to seeing this one. We haven't seen too much in terms of gameplay, but I think I'm just into it because it's Batman. I love Batman, and I want to see how it goes down in VR and how it is connected to the Arkham Shadow, well, the Arkham universe in general. So that is due out this year as well. It says fall 2024, so we could be seeing that October, November, December time. So yeah, can't wait to see that one. Part of me kind of wants it to be multi-platform, because I do want to see that on the PC or on the PSVR 2, but I think with it being a Quest 3 exclusive, we're going to see them push that hardware to the max they can, hopefully. Number 2 on the list is Metro Awakening. That is being made by Vertigo Games, and this one is also slated for later this year, I believe. And yeah, I love the Metro games. I love the atmosphere, and I love the way you can kind of play those games in a really stealthy way, or you can go in with these machine guns. But it's all about ammo preservation, and it seems like they're doing a lot of that in the gameplay. Like they've said that you won't be finding just clips full of like bullets, you're going to be finding single bullets to put in, so you really have to work out what you do in combat scenarios, or if you can even do it. You might want to sneak past them, or use just like a knife or something in stealth. And I really love that about the Metro games. I love just playing that game with a silenced pistol and sneaking up and pot shotting people rather than going in guns blazing. So I feel like the Metro game has always been something that would work great in VR. Obviously you got the whole wiping your mask off, just all these, like, a lot of people say the word tactile, like things in a game that you are doing as if you were to do it in real life. So I think having that in VR, you're going to be able to do that a lot more, you know, checking your ammo, checking your compass, and checking the map and your little journal to see where you are and what your quests are. All of that would just work so great naturally in VR, and from what I've seen, it looks great as well. So I really can't wait for this one. That's why that's number 2 on my list. Just, it seems to be the whole package of a game I love and the immersion of VR bringing it to life. Now number 1 is Alien Rogue Incursion, and I don't know whether this should be my most hyped game or my most excited game, but it's definitely going to be a big game just because it is Alien, and I absolutely love the Alien franchise. Like, it's one of my favorite movies of all time, the original. Love Aliens 2. And yeah, this is going to be, it's going to be an experience. I can't wait just to try it out. I'm hoping it's going to be great, but from what I've seen, it's still a little bit misty on what type of game it is. A lot of people saying it might be a roguelike, but it seems like it does have a through story to it, so I'm hoping it is a single player campaign. And if there is a roguelike aspect to it, hopefully it doesn't impact like the storytelling. Hopefully it's not just a wave shooter. That would suck for Aliens, because Alien Isolation was so good, and it seems like from the latest trailer they are doing a good job of mixing the survival aspect and sort of resource aspect of Alien Isolation, but also adding a bit of combat in the game, because we are playing as Zula Hendrix, which is a character from the comics who's a really badass character. So it's good to see that they've put the care into go into the existing lore and find something they think will fit with this game. So hopefully that care and attention goes into the full product, and we just see like this really good Alien game that respects the source material and is fun and has all the spooks and the scares of aliens jumping out and trying to kill you. So that has been my top 10 list of the biggest upcoming VR games. There's so many more. It's ridiculous how many VR games come out, and if you're like a content creator, it is really tough to try and play all these games and get some reviews out and stuff. So it's a lot of people out there saying, oh, there's no games in VR, there's no games on the PSVR 2. I've just given you a list of 10 games here, not all of them on the PSVR 2, but a huge list of games that I think are going to be really big games, like full, like AAA style at least, or getting up there, some of them. But I really can't wait to play a lot of these games, and some of them we might be seeing very soon. So if this is your first time checking out the channel and you want to see more stuff like this, do hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and let me know down below in the comment section what you're excited for. What is your big hitter for this year, or something that's announced that might be coming out later next year? Either way, hope you've enjoyed the video, guys, and I will see you in the next one.